Good morning. So, level 2 ultrasound, you guys, happened, and it was a completely different experience than what I was used to with Willow. And I don't even know where to begin. So, I'm not going to drag this on. I'm going to go right to the point. Now, from you guys know, I had the flu, and I was really nervous that he wasn't okay. I don't know if I told you this, but when I had the flu at my worst, I could not find his heart rate or his heartbeat on my Doppler. And I've always been able to find his heart rate or his heartbeat with that Doppler since I was 12 weeks pregnant. So it was very, very scary for me. I had a lot of sleepless nights until his anatomy scan, and I was very scared that I was going straight to labor and delivery. I was almost positive that I was. Like, I cried on the way there. I cried when we got there. Like, my anxiety was just so high. I was a mess. But ultimately, after the scan, the lady that I had, she was so wonderful. I gotta say, as soon as I got in the room, she said that, I'm just letting you know, because of your history, we are going to check your cervix, so we are going to do a transvaginal as well. She was just mainly for your cervix, to make sure that your cervix was okay. For those of you that don't know, in 2008, I gave birth to my twins because my water broke at 26 weeks pregnant. So I ended up losing my son had already passed the 18 weeks. We knew his heart stopped at that point, but our daughter was still going, and she was going strong, and it was safe to continue the pregnancy because they did not share the same sac, which is very important for people to know. I don't know how much I've ever talked about this. However, so now they have to do cervical checks on me through ultrasound until I hit a certain week because of my history. So she, that's the first thing she said to me, and I was like, okay. She's like, if you have any questions, please don't feel free to just ask. She goes, I'll do my best to answer them. And I just kind of got really sad, and I said, to be honest with you, I'm really scared. I said, because I haven't found him on the Doppler in a couple days. I said, and so I'm kind of freaking out. And she was so nice, and she was like, let's do that first. Like, it's like night and day, because it was the same facility, night and day for the level 2 ultrasound. And it was a completely different lady too, as well. I should say that. So as soon as she put that ultrasound, that thing on, all you see was that heart beating. Like, she didn't even have to look for it. It was wherever she decided to put it, that's where his heart was, and you just seen it beat. And it was just such a great relief to see that. Sorry if I get emotional, you guys. I'm like super emotional this pregnancy. Like, it's so crazy. Like, I cry over everything. An episode of toilet paper and I'll start crying. Oh Lord. But it was like everything was right in the world. Like, I didn't care what happened with the scan because he was good. Like, his heart was good. He was still alive, and that was everything at that moment. And I did tell her, because I didn't think she received the report from the new doctor, as my old doctor is the one that scheduled this when I was like 12 weeks pregnant. And he just told me to keep it. So anyways, and if you watched my other video of the regular anomaly scan that we had, they found a white spot on his heart. So I told her about that, and she goes, "Oh, we didn't get a report of that, but I will, definitely take a look at that closer." I said, "Great," you know. So the whole scan went on. She was just talking, telling us everything that we were seeing, how good he looked. Like it was great. And then she had me get undressed, and then we did the transvaginal. She was very quiet during that, which made me really nervous and scared. I'm not gonna lie. When she was, now we didn't see baby. All we seen was baby's feet because he is breech. So his feet was down near my cervix. So she was measuring my cervix and my placenta, making sure my cervix was nice, long, and closed. And you could see his feet kicking away and moving away because she had to press. If anybody's never had a cervical check done by ultrasound, she literally has to sit with the ultrasound in my vagina for quite a while. I was actually surprised on how long, maybe like a full half hour. She wasn't moving the prong. She got it right where she needed it with my cervix. And she had to do different things. Like first she needed me to just relax and rest and see if there was any change. And then she had to press on my stomach quite a bit and quite hard. Like power, like a lot of pressure. She had to do that. Then I had to rest. And then I had to cough quite a few times and then rest. And all through that, they were keeping track of my cervix to see if anything was going on with my cervix, which I found really fascinating. So we did all that, and then she said, here's some photos for you, and the doctor will be in a couple minutes. So he came in and he said, I'm just going to cut to the chase. He goes, your little guy looks great. He looks absolutely great. There's nothing I can tell you about him that's wrong. He says there was some organs that they could not get because of the way he is, but they said that they will get that when we do the fetal echo, because we have to go do a fetal echo in 4 weeks. Which was the week before Christmas. When on 24 weeks we have to go in there and do that. So he said he's not worried about it. Everything else looks great. And then he, however, did tell me that my placenta is a 1/16 of an inch covering my cervix. He says, usually that will move out of the way as he gets bigger. Worst case scenario is it does not move, and then I'll have to have a C-section. So they're going to have to keep an eye on that as well to make sure that it in fact does move out of the way of the cervix, or I'll have no choice of doing a C-section. So I'm praying that my placenta definitely moves. So I can definitely have it. I definitely want to try to do it naturally as I can. So that is that was pretty much the anomaly scan that I had. Oh, sorry, you guys, feeling thirsty. Still recovering from the flu. And then he asked if we had any questions, and I asked how he was measuring, what he was weighing. So as of last, 2 weeks ago, when I was 18 weeks, he was measuring on time, and he was like 9 ounces, I think. Like, yeah, I think it was 9 ounces. So now rewind 2 weeks, and he is measuring actually a day behind, but I'm not worried about that. He's measuring a day behind, and he's up to 13 ounces now. So he is almost 1 pound. He is currently in the 41 percentile. I'm not sure what he was 2 weeks ago, but the doctor said not to worry about that because he's in the safe zone. He's almost right there. So a couple of things that will be moving forward now that I'm getting further along in my pregnancy is every 2 weeks until I hit my 3rd trimester, we will be doing a cervical check through ultrasound to make sure that there is no, my cervix is not weakening, which is a concern due to my past history. So as long as my cervix is not weakening, we are good. So every 2 weeks we'll have to go do that. And then in 4 weeks, like I mentioned before, because this is an IVF pregnancy, they automatically request a fetal echo of the baby, because he said that for some reason with the IVF babies, their hearts sometimes don't develop properly. And so he just has to, that is why they have to do these checks. So I'm not mad about it. So I go, oh God, you guys, there's no joke getting sick while pregnant because it takes forever for you to get better. So I go back on December 7th, I think, for my cervical check. And then I go in December 21st for, oh, I just realized that's our anniversary of buying our house. Anyways, December 21st is when we go and have our fetal echo. And then 2 weeks after that, so right, what is that? Probably right around New Year's, we'll go back and apply for our last cervical check because I'll be almost in my 3rd trimester at that point because I'm officially in my 3rd trimester like a week after New Year's. So, anyways, so that's that. But let me show you the pictures of this little boy. So, this is so crazy, you guys. Look how big his legs are. Do you see him? That's his foot. Look how big he is. The foot, his knee, his leg. He had them crossed, so that's his other foot right here. I don't know if you guys can see it in the distance, but look at that. Look at that little foot. He's got big feet like his daddy. Then this is his actual footprint right there. I don't know if you can see it. And let me see if I can. So that is a profile picture. And that's a profile picture with his hand. And that is another profile picture, but his hand is right here, so it makes him look kind of weird. But these two are my favorite ones right here. So, but yeah. So, he's getting nice and big and strong. So, these are the 18-week ones. I don't know if I showed them or not. That was him at 18 weeks. So, and now that is him. The little baby. So, I am not going to lie. It's been a hard road for me emotionally. 22 weeks is when I had Willow. And I gave birth to her. So, I am trying to be strong until then. So, and then I never made it past 26 weeks of pregnancy. So it will be a whole new world for me to get through this pregnancy by New Year's. Because after New Year's, for me, it's a new territory. And it's scary, but I'm trying to be hopeful. So I'm just like, keep telling myself, I just have a month to go. I have a month to get through. Literally a month to get through before I am in, well, it's what, like, more like five-ish weeks or whatever, but Like, I just have to get through the month of December. Like, that's it. Just the month of December, pretty much. And then I'm pretty much there at my third trimester. Next week is December 1st. So, you know, by the time you guys see this, it'll be already December. But, like, we're almost in December 1st. And I just hope and pray that this little boy is strong and he makes it, and I get to hold him. And just the further along I get, the better I feel. My belly is getting bigger and firmer, like, 'cause I am obviously a big girl, but it's getting firmer. And it's funny because when I lay down, I feel like these lumps and I'm like, what the hell is that? But when I went to the ultrasound the other day, I asked her, and she pretty much confirmed that's his head that I'm feeling, because he is like a sandwich, like that breech. And so I feel like a knob right on the left side of my belly button, a little lower than my belly button, but like my belly button, and then I feel the knob like right here. And she confirmed that's probably his head that I'm feeling. And then his butt is on the other side where his legs go this way. So his head is right here. This is his body, but his legs are facing like, so that's why his legs and his head are like right there, because he's like sandwiched like that. So, but yeah. So I just hope this little boy gets bigger and bigger, and you guys get to meet him, and I get to meet him, and I'm just so excited. And I'm trying to be positive. And right after Christmas is when we're gonna really focus on the nursery, because right now the nursery is a catch-all room. We have a lot to do in that room still before it can be nursery ready. And my baby shower is in January. It was supposed to be in February, but it has changed now to January, because we weren't able to get a hall the day that we wanted. So it's now at the end of January. So I need this room done before January, like the end of January comes. But I'm waiting primarily because I'm scared to start it now while I'm still in my second trimester. I feel like I'll be able to focus better on it when I'm in my third trimester, because that's a new territory for me and Josh. We've never made it that far. We've been there at the cusp, right there, like days away, but didn't fully get there yet. So I am just waiting until we get to that point to really focus on his room, because there will be nothing worse and devastating than having a whole nursery completed and not have a baby to bring home. I know that is still a possibility no matter how far along I am. I'm not naive to that, but I've had so much loss in my second trimester that I just can't take that chance and have a nursery done. So, but I did want you guys to know about the Anomaly scan, and that ultimately is what happens. So we have great news. He's good. Oh, his heart rate, you guys, was 148. By the way, that's important to tell you. So he's doing really good for right now. And in 2 weeks, I'll have another scan. I'll let you know what happens. And yeah, so until next time, you guys, have a great weekend.